Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, legends. How's everybody doing? Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day and you're celebrating with your loved ones. Let's go, Bitcoin. Still in the range. No major big moves. Happy New Year to everybody, guys. We'll be analyzing the situation here all together and see what is going on here for the price of Bitcoin. Of course, we can't say it's a drop. We can't say it's a pump. We can't say it's really anything in the last few days, even the last few weeks, right? Still very, very rangy, but we're going to go through the local scenarios here, right? Nothing too exciting that's happened, really. We did pump a little bit more than I expected yesterday. I actually attempted a few shorts. I am in a short, but I attempted a few shorts, got stopped out at break even on once, which was this short attempt, and the other one got stopped out at a major, not at a minor loss, which was the golden pocket attempt, and then decided to re-enter again. You know, the overall target zone for me is coming to sweep up these lows at least. You know, the fact that we are forming higher lows, you know, that haven't been tested, these lows anyway. We're going to go through the analysis, right? It's still in favor of that scenario. Of course, we can't expect it to drop down in, you know, just a 1 or 2 hours. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's going to take a little bit longer. It's going to be a little bit more choppy. And there's no guarantee, of course, just as of yet, that we do take out that 86,600 low. I'm in favor of that scenario as explained yesterday. However, you know, it's just very low volatility. So what can we say, guys? What can we say? I'm a little bit more in favor of claiming these lows at 86,400. Get your votes in on what do you think comes first, guys. We have the votes here. What comes first for Bitcoin? Plus 95k, 49%, minus 80k, 51%. We almost got 100 votes here coming in right now. It is a 50-50 on, you know, we got lots of bulls and lots of bears in the comment section, which is absolutely awesome. Guys, a quick reminder here. This content is only education, okay? Only is not a financial advice. The information provided is not guaranteed to be accurate, as you know, right? Sometimes, you know, I might talk about something and it's like, this actually didn't happen the way you said you wanted for it to happen, right? I'm not getting my words right today, guys. Sorry, it's the last day of the year. Always conduct your own research, okay, before making any financial decisions. Sometimes we are spot on with analysis, okay? We try and be more spot on than not spot on, okay? But sometimes the analysis can be a little bit clunky, right? Sometimes the price does something a little bit different, which is completely natural. Of course, we try and take into consideration both scenarios. I will always have a favorite scenario. Some days I'll be a little bit neutral, not too sure. I like the scenario that takes out the lows here, at least the lows of this range that has happened throughout the last couple of weeks, right? But what can we say, right? It's just completely rangy. This is getting extremely complex. There's no proper directional bias. You can see it on the poll right now, right? We want a directional bias on the higher time frame, right? Which is actually, come on, let's get above 95k, which is the top of the range, right? Which would be this wick right over here, this pivot, right? Either get above this, hang on a minute, let's get the magnet out of the way. Get above this pivot or get below this pivot, right? We are literally in the middle, right? 87k, it's about 7k to the upside, 7k to the downside. We're literally in the middle. Which one comes first for Bitcoin to be tested? This high at 95k, 94.6 if you want to be more exact, or the 80k level, which is 80.5k. We're in the middle. There is doubts of getting bearish momentum in impulsive moves, literally to finish a fifth wave or a couple of 4 5s when you do zoom out, right? because the bearish scenario when we consider Elliott wave theory is literally looking to finish an impulse, right? Your wave 4, very complex, very sideways, WXY with a triangle here, whatever, and get the last move down, right? It is extending a little bit in time. This movement down doesn't look too convincing to be an impulse. We have a contracting leading diagonal scenario, which is the lowest probability scenario when we think of diagonals on its own. And for a leading diagonal, it's rare for a wave 1, right? Which we would want to see a wave 2 ending up breaking in a wave 3, 4, 5, right? To finish that ultimately impulsive move, right? To the downside on the higher time frame. Then we have this range that it looks very corrective. Of course, this to be a wave 1, wave 2, also leading diagonal, which doesn't look very, very nice, I have to say. Your wave 3 is a 5 waver, your wave 5 is a 3 waver. You can't have this mixed up. So, you know, there are some doubts of, you know, could this be a zigzag in the end, right? Where you have a complex sideways WXY in this range, or a running flat even, and this is your C wave, right? 3-wave structure, where the range you're looking at for it to continue, right? You might be forming a WXY here, right? Which ends up taking out the high, doesn't take out this low so far. So the point is, it is getting really, really complex on the higher time frame, and higher time frames should give you more clarity. Because the trend is down, you would give a little bit of more priority, right, to actually claim 80k. Just because the trend is your friend and the trend overall is still downtrending throughout the all-time high, so you kind of want to lean and giving a little bit of priority to the 80k, right? So yeah, that's the point right there on the higher time frame. So it does become very interesting to trade the range, right? Try and identify on the lower time frame, which is really what we do, what we try to do. And when we take a look at the local range, I was a little bit off here with this scenario, I have to say, because I was looking at a possible flat scenario here. Which is still it's still possible, I have to say. This does look corrective to the upside, guys. It does look extremely corrective. It's literally a 3-wave structure. Could this end up being a 3-wave up, a 3-wave down, 3-wave up, 3-wave down, 3-wave up? You form a contracting diagonal here throughout the next coming days, right? Next week. Diagonals are not preferred eventually. Do we see the range? Because the range, it doesn't mean that because we don't have something impulsive here that we cannot literally do this, right? Of course we can. At this point in this range, holy crap, we could do whatever, man. I literally, I'm having a bad time here to really get into the highest probability scenario on the higher time frame, because there's just multiples. You can come up with insane amount of ideas. This triangle literally can extend in this E wave. In the E wave on its own, even though it's extremely rare, you can have a triangle in the E wave of a triangle. So this range could also be a triangle. You do have the lower highs from the D point. Don't get me wrong here. I mean, I'm just adding something out of the blue here, just so you realize that at this point, when you have so many 3 waves down, 3 waves up, it literally is building up multiple different scenarios, right? It's just extremely complex at this point, and it's really throwing you know, a dart with closed eyes to see, you know, if it is going to be. I could just say, well, we're going to come down or we're going to go up, right? Anybody can have its own idea, but I have to say I have absolutely no idea on the higher time frame for the moment what is the highest probability. Yes, I could be interested in intraday setups and manage risk very, very well. looking for movements of, $2,000, $3,000. That's literally what I've been doing throughout the last few weeks, because we don't have any big option here for any swing trades. You can't get into a major swing trade here in the last 2 weeks. Whoever's been longing this lows or shorting, right, trying to short this zone, people have been holding a trade for over 2 weeks at the moment, regardless if you're short or long. So we need to treat this zone as a bit of a day trading zone, and take profits eventually if you're longing and shorting the lows, or short, longing the lows and shorting the highs. I'm in favor eventually in this range to short the highs, right? I'm literally looking to short this bounce that we got in the last couple of days, giving it the possibility of sweeping up the lows finally here, which is only a move $1,500 away from where we are at the moment. So it's not that big of a move, but the range has just been so boring. I get it, because obviously we do have Christmas holidays and New Year. It's the last day of the year. I'll go through the comment section right away, legends, okay? Because it is New Year. It's going to be a shorter live stream eventually. We ain't doing the long ones. Well, just a little bit of an overview here of the chart. So anyway, I just wanted to point this out, right? Because the local move that we have to the upside, I can tell you already. Even we were talking about this yesterday. This is very three-wavy to the upside as well. I was leaning more on a flat scenario. We did extend a little bit more than I expected. But it looks very, very corrective. With this movement down, you have a very, very clear three-wave structure. If you want to build something bullish to the upside, it needs to form some kind of a diagonal. If you're looking at this to be the start of an impulse from this low over here. However, if you consider just out of the blue here, which is something that I just checked out here in the last hour as I was looking at the chart, even a triangle in an E wave is possible, where you have internally here. I know this is like really, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole really, but an E wave of a triangle can be a triangle as long as you have, okay, from the D point, a low, a lower high, a higher low, a lower high, and another higher low, right? It's still, I know it's not the most beautiful triangle, guys, but triangles don't have to be beautiful and extremely symmetrical. But yeah, could it happen? And then it pops out here in an impulse, forming a higher low. It doesn't end up claiming the lows at 86.6K and starts an impulse from where we are at the moment here to claim 90.5K plus at a first target area, which is a very interesting resistance liquidity grab for a pullback. I have to say it's possible, right? I have to say it's very, very possible, even though when, this is the problem when you are extending such a large choppy range that we look to focus on the 15-minute, 1 hour time frame to see what's happened in the last few days. And this is it's a moment where you need to be very, very cautious with your directional bias, because I'm asking here in the comment section, as you can see on the poll, it's a 50-50, guys. We've got almost 200 votes. Nobody has a clue. Nobody has a clue. 50% are saying that we're going to get above 95K first, and 50% are saying that we're going to go below 80K. So yeah, I'm in this zone, guys, where I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. We have too many scenarios when we consider Elliott wave theory. If you ask me, well, yeah, the trend is down. So the trend from all-time high is down. We don't have any clear impulsive moves to the upside. So the overall, these impulses are looking very corrective. The trend is down. So I would have to favor the downtrend. I would have to favor the downtrend. If you put a gun on my head, pick a target. I would have to say 80K just because of the trend, really. Because at this point, this zone is like, it's just not. I'm not bothered, right? I'm not bothered. I want to look for intraday setups. This is what we've been doing for the last 1 to 2 weeks here. There's been some pretty nice ones. I got stopped out at break even and a stop loss yesterday. I'm in that short trade because, as explained yesterday, I really favor that we have that amount of liquidity. Let's get this triangle out of the way, by the way. E-wave in a triangle can be a triangle also, which is rare, but, you know, just to throw that curveball right over there for the people that are, you know, are wondering about E-wave here, or is the triangle still valid, or are we actually going to, you know, end up breaking down here in an impulse, because this is the end of a correction. Leading diagonal, complex correction here, WXY, and you got a 1-2, you got a 1-2 here. You're going to end up breaking down, right, in the impulsive move to the downside. I prefer this movement to be corrective. So, as mentioned, if you put a gun to my head, I'm going to favor the 80K level, because it's just it's very, very difficult at this moment, because this little range that we formed in the last 2 weeks is just forming. There's no directional bias here. There's literally no directional bias. This could pop down, pop up. Whoever says that he knows exactly what's going to happen is lying through his teeth. Okay, it's just so yeah, anyway, it's interesting to see that poll. Over 200 votes. What comes first for Bitcoin? 95K plus 49%. Minus 80K is 51%. So Mark Dutch, the man himself, the legend. We got Mariela. We got the dream team here of moderators. The classic OGs are actually in today's stream. Happy New Year to both of you. Happy New Year to everybody here. Mariela, Mark Dutch, much love to you guys. You know, you get a smile on my face every time I see you here, because these are the OGs. They've been on my channel since, you know, I was just a couple of thousand subscribers many years ago, right? In 2020. So, you know, much love to you guys. Happy to see you around. Hope you're doing absolutely wonderful. The Beagle, Inus, the bark at anything. Exactly. I got my Beagle and my Podenco Andaluz. Beth Maria Vallejos, much love. Andy the King, much love to you. Beth Maria Vallejos. I got an interesting 2026 for everybody. You might think, man, you know, we got stuff to do. It is New Year. I just wanted to point out a few scenarios here, very locally as well. I am, as explained yesterday, we need to focus on the local range. I'm happy to say that this movement to the downside, as explained yesterday, does look better for a possible impulse down. And this move to the upside looks extremely corrective. So with that theory, understanding that we have liquidity here, I am in favor of forming a lower high here, right? As explained yesterday, just because we got a pump of a few $100s where we got somebody on the stream saying, you know, never trust a YouTuber and all of that nonsense. Man, we don't expect the price to directly fall from a level that has been hit. It would be nice, but, you know, it's maybe going to take a little bit more time. It's maybe going to be a little bit difficult and emotional. But, you know, at the end of the day, it takes a little bit of time. Still in favoring this scenario. So what can we say? Let me just go quickly through the comment section. Smash up that like button. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm not sure if any other, you know, crypto channels, maybe your favorite crypto channel is also doing a live stream today. But yeah, you know, what can we say? What can we say? You know, finally in that short, let's see if it does want to push to lower levels. Would be nice to push down to just another extra $1,000. You know, I really want those lows to be hit, and then we'll see if we do get supported later on or not. We might even bounce from here. What can we say? Price is slowing down ever so slightly here, so not the greatest thing that we want to see for the bears. It would have been nice to already get a bit of follow through here if this is going to be a wave 3. The most bearish case scenario is a 1-2, 1-2, right? The bounce is very, very poor, and we just end up breaking down at some point, right? In the next 1 to 2 days, if that bounce still maintains a lower high. I will exit this position. I'm going to hold on, guys. Not that it's a massive position for me, but I'm going to hold on. I'm going to hold on to the lows. I'm going to hold on, guys. You know, for me, it's not worth it. with the amount of position that I have open. So the moment I'll have to close to be defensive on my trade is the moment that we do get a bounce here to literally the 0.8 Fibonacci. You know, that's the moment that I will realize that this is also a corrective structure, very, very likely, right? When you get so close to hit these highs, I'm going to have to exit at break even. So let's see if we do get a double 1-2 in this case. If we do not get follow through here throughout the next coming hours, which could still be developing, right? It might just continue rolling and this ends up being the wave 3. The other most bearish scenario is get that shallow, weak bounce throughout the next coming hours and then ends up rolling down and finally getting the breakdown, right? Of a couple of $1,000s, right? That's what I would want to see. Just because locally, and we can only defend ourselves locally here. Salud. Yeah, I can only literally talk about why there's a high probability in hitting the lows here on the lower time frame, since we talked about this yesterday. Just because I hate this move. This move is horrible for this to be anything bullish, right? We talked about this bounce that we had, very 3-wavy. This correction coming down to the 0.9 Fibonacci. We hate this for a wave 2. So this bounce, this looks a bit more impulsive. So the idea is to form a lower high somewhere in this region, right? We did extend a little bit here to the upside. So let's see. We're gonna have to give it a little bit of time. You know, as mentioned, in that short position, I'm a little bit not super pissed off, guys. But in this bull market, I have sold quite a bit of Bitcoin. When we did hit all-time high, this is the moment that I sold 15% of my entire portfolio. So I did sell, you know, it's a significant chunk, just at 125k range. We did a live stream saying, guys, you know, this is a moment to start selling on spot, because, you know, I've been here for many, many years now buying crypto, buying Bitcoin since it was $6,000. And, you know, it was a moment to actually start selling a big chunk. And I'm going to, you know, start trading with bigger amounts, done a bigger transfer here to make bigger trades, right? Because I don't want to buy gold. I don't want to buy silver. I already bought. That's going through the roof. I don't want to buy Bitcoin yet. I would like to buy Bitcoin below $80,000. So I'm not buying Bitcoin yet, okay, as in spot, just because I'm not convinced of this being any major low. I do think that the price of Bitcoin is going to go below $80,000 in the next coming months, or if not weeks. This bounce is not convincing. I wouldn't say that this is the low of the bear market, right? So I would start buying Bitcoin below 80k, dollar cost average 70k, 60k, right? Wherever we go, I'm going to start DCAing. But till then, I don't know what to buy. Stocks are at all-time high. AI stocks are just through the roof. You know, I got some cash on the sidelines that, you know, there's nothing interesting to buy. Everything's at all-time high, right? Except for Bitcoin, which I would want to buy a bit lower. Don't want to buy gold. Don't want to buy silver. Don't want to buy any stocks. You know, I want to buy stocks when they get a major correction, major move down, and that is not the case. So we're going to have to trade with those profits of spot bags. This is what we're going to do. Trade the market, right? If you don't have anything to buy, we need to move that money. So that money is going to be moved by doing trading throughout most of 2026, I would say, before I start buying some stuff aggressively if we do get a big correction in 2026. So anyway, in that short position, I am favoring here the lows at 86, 86.6, 86.7 to be hit. And let's see if we do get that stretch down. That would be my first TP1, would leave a significant chunk open just in case we get continuation down. But that's the main first target. And this was explained yesterday. I did have a couple attempts, guys, but a lot of break evens, right? When we're not sure. Yesterday, there was a few attempts one at the golden pocket because we literally broke through this neckline that we had, Adam and Eve, right? We were talking about this yesterday. I had one a short attempt right over here, which was valid. We back tested the level, we came down and then decided to close the break even. I had to pay a few fees eventually on that short. Then we crossed the 1236 extension, so there's no short trade. And the golden pocket I entered a little late. We got the move down and then, you know, got stopped out on the position and decided to enter again here. Just because with the pullback that we had yesterday, I'm thinking, you know, I don't see this as something bullish. I don't see this as a wave 3, wave 4 and 5. You know, I am very much in favor, as mentioned yesterday, of a lower high from this pivot high that we had on Monday, right? So we want to be defensive. We want to have tight stop losses. We want, you know, the one that comes will pay off, right? The one that comes will pay off. If you have this projection, right? Golden pocket, you get stopped out. If you can get into another one, right? The one that comes to fruition will pay 4 or 5 times your stop loss, right? That you have had. So still leaning with this scenario, guys. What can I say? Still leaning with that scenario. We'll have to see here how this develops in the next coming hours and next coming days. But this movement to the upside looks incredibly corrective. We were pointing this out even when we were trading in this zone, not believing that there's something impulsive starting from here. However, we are in a very, very complex range. You know, at the end of the day, we're forming 3 waves down, 3 waves up. The only little sign that we have of a potential impulse is this one that we had, right? This literally is the only one that we've had throughout the last week, right? That looks a little bit convincing because this was a 3 wave down. This was a 3 wave up. That's a bit of an impulse. I'm interested in a bounce and a lower high here in this region, right? So anyway, still sticking to the thesis of yesterday. I would like to see these lows being swept. And then we might consider longs. Let's see, right? Let's see. The price really needs to slow down. I wouldn't be in a rush to long here. Of course, we've been talking about the longs at the 85K region. It is interesting. That's where you sweep the liquidity. If this is going to be bullish, we will slow down. We will slow down at 85K if we're not going to take out the lows at 84.4K. It's a moment to be a little bit patient, guys, right? It doesn't matter catching the lows or the highs. We are in danger at this point, right? Throughout the last couple of weeks, we were in favor of continuing the range, extending a little bit longer. But at this point, I'm literally saying we are going to get the pop out of this range very, very soon, right? And it might be big and it might be small. So obviously in a range, fake outs are very attractive, right? Liquidity grabs of the highs of the range or the lows. These are the local lows of the range of the last week. It is attractive to look for a fake out, right? Sweep the liquidity and get the bounce. I'm interested in longs here. However, it's not going to be limit longs, go to bed, and let's see how things are tomorrow morning, right? It's a zone that I'm going to be patient. I want literally the price to stop down there at those levels, 85K region. That's where we have significant liquidity below 86.5, right? We've got hundreds of millions of longs. That's where I'm targeting, and that's where I want to start thinking about a long. I can't have a limit long here and go to bed, guys, right? Limit long, guys, let's just add to the position. It's going to bounce very likely, so let's just limit long and go to bed. Absolutely not, guys. Absolutely not. Of course, the price could absolutely nuke from here. At this point, we do have a bearish scenario. It could happen. It could definitely happen. Volume starts kicking in. We finally get that breakdown of $4,000 or $5,000, and that's it, right? So we want to be cautious. Even though sweeping up these lows, is attractive for the SFP. Liquidity grab might go slightly lower. We do have some levels. There is a daily level down there. We got a daily level, new daily level here at 87.1k. We got the triangle scenario here as well on the higher time frame, that it could be that E wave, right? Could be that E wave still a little bit stretched out. But I want to be very, very cautious. Very, very cautious here, because eventually the bearish scenario is you know, breaking down, right? Wave 1, wave 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 ends up breaking down in the end, right? With high volume, that's it, guys. We broke out. So we need to be careful. We need to be careful. If the price is going to reverse, it's going to stop, and it's going to form some bullish market structure, right? If we end up moving lower with a bounce or without a bounce, if we end up moving lower in the next 1 to 2 days, the price is, if it has to form a higher low, we will see it on the chart, and we'll identify how the price is moving here and how it's stopping, and how we can count how we got down there. Once we form some local bullish market structure, bullish CVD divergence, we see the price stopping, we can identify, you know, the 3-wave structure here, either this, the wave A, this right over here, the wave B. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you form a contracting diagonal. We will see, right? I don't expect the price to V-shape here in just one day. So there will be signs of stopping, and we will try and identify that long position, okay? I know there's a lot of people that will just, you know, enter the SFP from the lows, right? We're just going to enter along. If you do tap that level and get back above, people are just going to probably take the attempt. I'm going to be a little bit more patient. I don't mind not catching the low here in this case, right? I'm the kind of guy that waits patiently. I might see some, you know, bullish market structure developing, getting a major stop here on the lower time frame, and instead of longing the exact low, which I want to be cautious on trying to catch a falling knife, you know, I might long somewhere else. If it needs to reverse, right, and form bullish market structure, we're going to see some signs, right? The price will stop. The price will stop before it gets the reversal, right? So there'll be time for that. There'll be time for that. Okay. Anybody that is not trading or doesn't, you know, use any of these exchanges, Bluffin is a great option. Really highly liquid. It's the main one that I'm using. I used Bybit for many years. I've used many different exchanges. I do have on different exchanges some funds, but my favorite one at the moment is Bluffin. You do have a great bonus down below, okay, with the link in the description, and whoever signs up with that link is going to get a bonus in the coming days, guys. We're launching a new product which people are going to absolutely love, which eventually, you know, has setups as well, with some other analysts, okay, and traders. It's going to be absolutely huge. We've been working for this for many months, and I know a lot of people are going to be wanting something different, right? We want to be that cherry on top from crypto traders, YouTubers out there, right? Never trust a YouTuber, they say. Got someone yesterday saying that. Give Andy some love. Tap the like button. Devil, much love to you, brother. Devil did a live stream just a few hours ago. I just saw it. Much love to you, Devil, guys. Go and check out Devil. He is a coach in the trading community, and he's awesome, okay? Go and check out his content. He's top notch, guys. Shout out to you, Devil. Shout out to Mariela. Shout out to Mark Dutch here. Still in New Zealand. She's in Chile. She's in Chile. Mark Dutch, come on, man. You're not up to date. Chilling in Chile. Much love to all of you. Okay, moderators here giving love and power. Let's go and say hello. Bitcoin hit bottom for the day. Well, maybe it has. It is stopping a little bit. Well, if Bitcoin hit bottom for the day, I don't know, man. We still, it is slowing down, but we're still creating lower lows. I'm not too sure. That message came out a few minutes ago, so we are creating a new low at the moment. So it's not quite hit the bottom for the day as of yet, man. Come on. So Happy New Year, mate. James, much love to you, my man. Nice to see you around. Is there any New Year giveaway? There will be a bonus, that is for sure. Easy steps, sign up with the link down below. Bluffin, you can use also Velto. I will be leaving my Telegram down below in the next coming days. Let's wait for New Year. People, you know, we're going to have a hangover. Nobody wants to trade or do a live stream tomorrow, right? Probably on the 2nd, on the 3rd, I'll be leaving my Telegram. You know, if you sign up, there will be a bonus. There will be giveaway. There will be discounts on the new product as well. So I just don't want to do it before, you know, the end of the year. Let's do it as a fresh start, guys. So yeah, there will be giveaways and there will be stuff entering into the year. Okay, not today exactly. Happy New Year, James. Much love. I wish Bitcoin moves like Nasdaq. Nasdaq actually was getting a little bit of a move down also. Nasdaq also getting a bit of a move here to the downside. Yeah, throughout the last hour or so. No exact correlation. So yeah, Bitcoin moving down. And this is what I want to see. We have a daily level out there, but as mentioned, I'm literally not interested in longs. I haven't been interested in longs in the last 24 hours. So supporting more the shorts and supporting more to claim the lows, as explained yesterday. So yeah, let's go through comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. Much love to everybody. Today is it's the last day of the year. Come on, guys. Last day of the year. All the best, James, to you and your loved ones. Hope you're doing great and healthy. To everybody, okay? Not only to James, Freedom XRP. Jackie Wood, Godmother here, always giving love and support. M. Fulmine, according many levels and Fibonacci from 15.4k to 126k, it could hit, by the way, the area of 2833k, guys. We are very far away. I mean, we need to get down below 80k first, right? 28 to 33k could be hit. Maybe if the bear market's going to be super brutal, we just don't know. For the moment, we know that we are in a downtrend. And we're just going to have to trade the charts. Luckily, we can detect high probability scenarios. Luckily, we can detect that a movement is not looking bullish from a major low and looking for shorts on a lower high from this pivot are more interesting to claim the lows here. We can detect that, right? We can detect that. Yesterday, even though the price got a little bit of a punchy high, I did get stopped out. Twice. 2 times, guys. One at break even, one was nothing. It was just a major scratch. Paid a little bit of fees. The other one at the golden pocket did take out the local highs. As mentioned, we can afford, if the probabilities are still higher, that this is corrective and that there is a good chance that the lows are going to be taken. If you're managing risk, I'm the kind of guy that I prefer to get stopped out once or twice with low losses, right? Keep your losses tight, you know, and then once the price decides to go to the direction that you actually analyze, which has had the highest probability, instead of getting into shorts and adding to position, because there will be a moment that the price goes up here and people are going to blame it on me. If we would have taken out 90k plus, you know, people would have blamed a lot on me. And this is all about managing risk. I cannot be your babysitter on managing risk. I'm happy to get stopped out once or twice. The moment, you know, one of these stop losses is not hit and we come down, man, I'm paying, you know, 5-6 times my stop loss. It doesn't matter. That's the way I know that trading is possible. The moment that you start, you know, adding to position and doing all of that BS is when you're going to get wrecked. Of course, yeah, this one right now is kind of playing out, but you shouldn't do that, even though the favorite scenario that we mentioned is forming a lower high since yesterday here. Don't add to position. Don't have a, you know, if you're happy to get in wherever, right, and you're happy with I'm shorting somewhere in this zone, stop losses here, and I'm targeting the lows. If you're happy with a 1.5 risk to reward, you just want to keep it chilled, then okay, that's all good. It really depends on, but don't add, right? If it goes against you, don't do that, guys. What is possible? 30K is suicide for Bitcoin, but who knows? The thing is, I don't think we're going to go that low. I do see 60K, maybe 50K possible for Bitcoin in this bear market. However, there's going to be so much, I'm already going to start buying below 80K. I'm going to DCA. I'm not going to go all in, but, DCA in starting below 80K. So 70K, 60K, really, really happy to buy at those levels for the next coming years. I'm not sure if 30K, these targets going that low, I'm not too sure. There's going to be a lot of people buying Bitcoin as we go down, okay? So it will, I think it's not going to reach 30K. That's my opinion. Yeah, 50, 60K is my bottom zone for the bear market on Bitcoin, if reached, right? We might not even reach it. Andy, this looks like a huge bear pennant that has been forming for weeks. Tony, it kind of does, right? It kind of does. When we do zoom out on the higher time frame, it does look like some kind of a bearish flag pennant, right? Bearish, pennanty, flaggy, in a downtrend. I'm with you, okay? But there's so many traps here and sideways complex corrections that could be on the formation, right? You could sweep up 90K, you could sweep up even 95K before even taking out 80K, right? Which just becomes a little bit of a trappy situation. It's very, very common, right? Because you got the classic breakout of the flag here, right? Or the wedge. Classic breakout. It looks like it's rolling, and the price decides to, get that wick up and then down. It does happen. So we want to be a little bit defensive on our trades and just know what we're looking at locally. Much love to everybody. Thanks for joining the stream here. I know it's the last day of the year. I wouldn't expect, 370 viewers, not many people. I don't have any local setup here, guys. I haven't been looking for a setup. Yeah, setups have been mainly looking for shorts to come down to the lows. And I'm not that interested here on this movement down. I know we could still be developing the third wave, right? The moment this starts bouncing, we could form a very corrective overlappy bounce, which eventually would be natural to get the move down. That could be a 1-2, 1-2, right? That's what I would expect. If we do bounce coming all the way up almost to take out these highs, when we get a bounce so high here to 88.9K zone, that's the moment that I'll literally say, guys, it didn't end up forming a double 1-2, or the third wave didn't continue. And I'll have to, it would be a break-even trade. The kind of position that I got in here, it's not worth it for me to take profits here. We want to stretch here to at least 5K profit, at least for me anyway. I'm going to give it a chance. I like it. Move up is very corrective. So yeah, I'm not taking, me personally, right? If you've got into an aggressive short here somewhere on yesterday's move up or in this move up from today, then obviously if it is aggressive and you entered significant amount, then yeah, why not take some profits, right? I'm supporting the lows. I'm supporting my higher time frame analysis, and of course I can be completely wrong because this range is getting disturbingly annoying, right? It is becoming annoying at this point, this range in the last few days. kind of fed up. We want to get that movement out already of this range. Thank you for being here. Kyle, much love. Mitchell, much love to you. Where can I sell? Where can I sell? As in short or sell Bitcoin? Where you can sell on Bluffin, you can sell on Bybit. What level to sell? I was supporting lower high yesterday, so preferably we do not look for shorts down here. And as the move is still very aggressive to the downside, I am no longer interested, me personally, in this range for any longs at the moment. Wasn't supporting longs yesterday either. More interested in the shorts for a bigger move, which a bigger move is at least coming down below 86.6k. So very, very small movements. Wasn't too interested in these small movements here, and wasn't supporting the bullish move up. Supporting more a lower high to take out the lows, right? That's the move I'm interested in. So I have no longs, regardless if we bounce from here or not. At the daily, we find some support. Not interested. The problem is this movement to the upside, at least for me anyway, guys. You know, this movement to the upside for me is corrective. It's a three-wave structure. When you have a three-wave structure to the upside, you prioritize to take out these lows at some point, unless you are finishing a complex, right, sideways corrective structure here based on what's happened in the last few weeks, which is possible, I have to say. At this point, there's just too many scenarios. Or you are going to be forming a contracting leading diagonal from here, which is developed with 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, right? And it ends up taking out the highs, and it's, you know, then it corrects down. Then that might be interesting to look for longs in this zone. Again, you know, leading diagonal is low probability, and obviously if you're speculating on that pattern from this low, you know, it's ridiculous. We're going to start talking about that once we have a wave 4. Then we'll say, you know, leading diagonal here could be possible on the formation. As it's a low probability pattern, you're not going to speculate wave 2. You know, it's just not going to happen. I would rather speculate on this is corrective. This looks impulsive to the downside. I'm just going to favor taking out the lows, right? Just going to favor that scenario, right? Getting it a little bit more simple. Got wrecked today. Happy New Year, man. Hopefully people do not get wrecked here on the channel. We are very, very... we go through risk management a lot on the channel. I know it's difficult. Emotions are hard to handle in trading. Stop losses are your friends, okay? I will show you how many times I will get stopped out throughout the next coming weeks and months, and then the profitable trades that are the ones that are paying off. I will show you guys, okay? More stop losses than winning trades, but the winning trades offset the losing trades. It's just like that. There's no other way. It is ready to make one more all-time high. Maybe. Not for New Year. I know it depends. Bosch, much love. I know it depends on which country you are trading from, but do traders tend to trade from taxable accounts or sheltered? I cannot answer that question here. There's many exchanges such as Bluffin that just requires an email and a password. Email and password, no personal information, which is good. I know a lot of people do not want to give any personal information, and obviously, you know, either Velto, which is a decentralized exchange platform, which is connected directly to your wallet, no middleman, or some exchanges such as Bluffin that just requires an email and a password. That's it. You got the links down below, okay, legends? Links are down below for bluffing. You got a great bonus, $1,000 deposit bonus. It gets on top of your $7,000 deposit. Okay, if you deposit 7K, you get 1,000K. If you're getting, you get 1K. Sorry, if you deposit 5K, you're getting 750 on top of your trading account. Okay, this is to use for your fees. It just increases your capital. Take advantage, guys, of that for bluffing. Okay, it's first link down below, and people that do so will be getting a bonus in the next coming days, announcing the new product that we are launching for 2026. Happy New Year, my man. Come on now, much love to you, much love to everybody. Happy New Year. Where can I join the VIP? This will be announced in the coming days. Okay, bear with me. I will be leaving my Telegram to answer some DMs. But yeah, we're launching something. 2026 I want it to be magical. I want it to be the cherry on top. Something very, very different. More active trades, more setups. Yeah, just something that is actually going to outstand from the rest, guys. Okay, so we're going to build this together. We're going to get a big community, and that will be announced in the next coming days. Okay, so bear with me here. Today you have the chance to smash the like button of the year right now for Andy. Let's go. Mariela BTC, much love. Mariela BTC here, giving love and support on the channel. Whoever attempted some shorts throughout the last 24 hours on the bouncers, very good. I mean, we can't guarantee anything, of course, and we can't say, for me at least, it's not a winning trade at the moment. Whoever longed yesterday, hope that you did take profits, because right now we are basically trading below yesterday's price range, right? So if you're happy with the short that you got in, right, throughout the last 24 hours on these movements to the upside, I am going to remain patient, at least on my trade. It doesn't matter if I get stopped out at break even. There'll be bigger trades coming very, very soon. Once we get out of the range. But yeah, as mentioned, I do like the amount of liquidity that we have. I love this movement to the upside in the last 2 days. Extremely corrective, supporting the idea to take out 86,600, which I was still supporting from yesterday, a lower high. I was supported yesterday, and let's see if we do get that maybe between today and tomorrow. Hopefully the bounce is going to be very, very choppy and corrective, okay, and overlappy, and it ends up pushing down if it doesn't push down already in the next coming hours. So I'm not interested in longs. I don't have a long trade here. In the last 24 hours, there's no long trade for me to be taken unless you're getting into a scalp, right? I'm more interested in the bigger moves of at least $2,000 to $3,000, $500 moves to thousands. A little bit too sharp and small for me. I'm looking for the slightly bigger moves. So yeah, it all depends on your trading style as well, right? Only long that I had was last week on Wednesday. There was a long taken in this zone. SFP back test. It was the only long from last week. Then short, and missed this short because I was asleep. But I'm not sure if I would have entered the short here. But anyway, I was asleep anyway, so who cares? But yeah, just talking about a little bit of the trading scenarios here. No longs taken here yesterday. Attempted a couple of shorts, was very, very defensive. And now hopefully this short is the one that's going to pay off. So just going a little bit through the trading journal here that we've been talking about on the stream of the last week, which was the ones that I remember was long here, short here, SFP, short here. No longs on this movement drop, take profits, no major trades in this zone. And then, just recently the shorts here from yesterday. So I am just going to favor this scenario, guys. I don't have any long trades to be taken anywhere here in this zone, regardless if we bounce or not. I just don't like it. I'm supporting the scenario of coming down finally to below 86.6k zone, and I will be in no rush to long. There's no rush to long here. I want to see proof of support at 85k region, hold on, form bullish market structure, signs of price slowing down and maybe getting a reversal. That's the next zone that I'm interested in longing. And if we bounce from here, I have to say I missed the long. So not that we have any major bullish CVDs. Yeah, no major bullish CVDs, only on Bybit. But we do have massive bearish CVDs here from the highs on Monday. Lower highs on price action, higher highs on the CVD here on Bybit US dollar tether. So there's lots of longs entering on Bybit US dollar tether pair in the last 24 hours. We already had some bearish CVDs yesterday with this spike, and now with this momentum here, lots of bearish CVDs as we can see. So lots of longs entering here that are getting punished at the moment that have entered today. Much love. Let's go, Mark Dutch. Membresía de regalo de Andy Bitcoin Census enviadas 10. Vamos, Mark Dutch. Much love to you, brother. Giving some memberships here to the legends. Happy New Year, Mark Dutch. Stay safe. Hope you are well and you are spending time with family and friends and loved ones. Okay. You, sir, are a legend. Have a great new year. Alex, he definitely is a legend. Suzanne, much love. Let's go. India in the house. Love from India. Much love. Indians like to trade. Indians like Bitcoin and like trading. Happy New Year, Andy and legends. May 2026 is our profit year for everybody. Hamad, much love to you. Do you have your own Telegram group? This is the thing. We do have one, but we are kind of rebranding and putting some products together, okay? And actually having a better Telegram, because we're also going to have some different coaches, adding some more altcoin analysis. I'll be focusing more on Bitcoin, but providing more setups. But we did have one in the past. We flipped from Discord to Telegram. We've been doing a lot of flip-flop to try and come up with the ultimate gold standard of a group. And this is what we're building. The next group that we want to build, of course, we want a combination of everything, and we want the people to be extremely happy with it. And I know we've been talking to a lot of people, our members. I'm more in favor of education. People want setups, but this is the long live streams as well, right? We talk about setups. We entered some trades in the last couple of weeks on the live stream, talking about entry, stop loss. People want to see live trading. People want setups. That's what people want. Education is all good and great, but they want a coach. They want somebody holding their hand to get into those setups and just give me the goddamn setups, right? Which is what we are going to be basically cooking, okay? Telegram will be announced in the next few days, and we'll be leaving the Telegram down below, of course, okay? So bear with me. It's going to be a new 2026. How can I join? Michelle, it's going to be announced in the next coming days, okay? Bear with me here. Bear with me, guys. Don't worry. If you are going to continue following here, it will be announced, and I will have the Telegram down below and how you can join. Potentially by next week, of course. Let's get into the new year. India sus in trading country. Much love, Mr. Fulmine. Bolokun, thanks Andy and Happy New Year. Bolokun, much love. Mariela, we have our own YouTube sugar daddy, Mark Dutch, gifting memberships. Exactly. Sugar Dutchy, you got that damn right. This guy is a legend. Michelle, much love to you. Did you look at the CVD when entering the short trade from today? The trade was still from yesterday. This short trade was still from yesterday. It wasn't because I entered this exact tippy top. I'm not that good. This was already entered yesterday with stop loss at the highs. I did not enter here. This was entered from yesterday. Stop loss was at the highs. Yeah, if you're asking about I mean, that would have been an epic, right? Catching the ultimate top. Not sure if there was, I mean, Devil did point out this in the pro community. 618 to the 78, because Devil was pointing out also about this being an impulse, possible wave 1 or wave A, it doesn't matter. And then this being corrective in a wave 2, and then this a wave 1 and a wave 2. And obviously the golden pocket to the 7-8. Stop loss still maintains to be the lower high, this one here. And an entry point obviously in this zone. So you would have said that this zone was acceptable to enter a short. Just considering they 1-2, 1-2, another 1-2 maybe, and roll over, or rolling over from here, right, throughout the next coming hours. But yeah, I was still entering yesterday based on forming a lower high, local double tops, right, wicks up, then down, and, you know, literally entering on the rejection of the local double tops and having a stop loss at the high. But yeah, CVD was already forming, we already were forming bearish CVD divergence yesterday, which we did talk about on the highs of Monday, right? We got that high of Monday, this high of yesterday. We were already, from this pivot right there, we were already forming higher highs on the CVD in the blue, as you can see here. So there are already some nice bearish CVDs, which helps you eventually with that decision. And just today would have been actually good to take a look at the CVDs, because from here to here, big higher highs, longs entering here like crazy, which are getting absolutely punished at the moment. All of those people that were longing in the last few hours, that was the ultimate sign here on Bybit US dollar tether. Lots of longs entering, which eventually they are getting punished. Would have been more interesting to get into a short today, if I'm honest. Devil did point out this today with the education. More interested in a lower high than actually believing that this was something bullish, because if you're looking for something bullish here, double 1-2, your second one is much longer than the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, not possible. You're overlapping. It would have to be some kind of a diagonal on the formation, but yeah, you never want to speculate on diagonals. You would, if you have a possible impulse down, you would speculate that this is corrective, and shorts are more interesting to take out the lows. So that's literally what's in favor at the moment. It's just going to take a bit of time. Someone was, you know, I got pissed off. There was someone that was, there was like, you know, we're pumping. We didn't go anywhere. We pumped a few $100s to the upside. It's fine. You know, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. We're talking about possible rejection at the golden pocket, still favoring a lower high, still favoring local double top. You know, if we don't dump down straight away in a straight line in less than an hour, man, this is not for you, right? We're gonna have to be patient. But man, holy smokes! Just because we're pumping a few $100s from levels that we're talking about a short, we got some, you know, maniac in the comment section saying, "Ooh, we're still pumping. It's bullish." You know, screw you. Where are you now? Right? Where are you? We were talking about a lower high here and coming to the lows. If we take out the lows, I want your apologies. Just because we pumped a few $100s. Where is that guy? I can't remember his name. Sorry, guys. I shouldn't put that so much effort on somebody here. But sad is remembering that guy. Thank you, my man. Yeah, I had to, because he was getting nasty. I think Staffer 1 was already taking his, he was eliminating his comment here. Be nice. We're just looking at managing risk. You know, the projection for the next 1 to 2 days maybe is coming down to the low. I do favor a lower high. I could be completely wrong, of course, right? Then I have to come out and say sorry if we would have taken out this high. But man, some people need to calm down. Anyway, he's busy getting liquidated, says Full Port. Honestly, if I'd put a tiny amount, I'd try longs some at 86.3. Cup and handle. We're not crypto lifer here. Ash Wave. I'm that guy. Screw you. I don't think it was you, right? Was it you? I don't think so. Cup and handle. Sammy Cup and Handy. It is, right? Sammy Cup and Handy. Sammy Cup and Handy. There was probably a Sammy Cup and Handy here. We got a bit of a Sammy Cup and Handy breaking the resistance lower high right there. I mean, I do see why people maybe were longing in this zone. Because we had a Sammy Cup and Handy here. And we're breaking out the resistance. Time to long and go to Valhalla and take out this high. And yeah, this time, this cup and handle with a descending neckline. Shorts were looking more interesting, if I'm honest here with you. But anyway, we don't do that kind of analysis here. Much love, Mark Dutch, to you, brother. I'm a Sammy guy. I like Sammy. He's cool. I like how he always dresses up for his live streams. I should know better. I love the Crypto Lifer banter so much. He's cool. He's a cool guy. Much love, Clint. Much love to you. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Not much there. You know, I don't have any local trades, unfortunately. I'm looking for this more day trade to swing trade from yesterday. Not because I'm obsessed about the lows being taken and obsessed of the price forming a lower high here. It's just because the probabilities lean that side with my understanding on the chart. I ain't going to zoom out too far away. With this local price action of the last few days, we have a chance of this movement down to be a little bit more impulsive. And this movement to the upside, since yesterday we were discussing, it looks better for a corrective structure to form a lower high and finally take out at some point 86.5k, right? That's what I'm leaning at the moment. So I based on that thesis, I cannot say this is a great long. I just don't like it. But yeah, I would have to exit that short if we do eventually. If we come up already, I'm going to put stop loss at break even at this point. Because if price does bounce to hit this high or get very, very close to it, then eventually what we're looking at here is this movement down to be a corrective movement, a three-way structure basically. And the diagonal is possible. Many scenarios are possible. We ain't going down that rabbit hole at the moment. We'll see the information in the next couple of days, guys. Trade safe. Stay safe. Happy New Year to everybody. Remember that you got the links down below if you want to support the channel and get that bonus. In the next coming days, you got the sign-up bonus as well, okay, which is up to $1,000 depending on what you deposit. You got Velta as well. Decentralized exchange. They have very competitive fees, very low fees. You got a tutorial as soon as you click the link, guys. Fees are very, very low, guys. See, fees are extremely low, as you can see, and you connect directly either to your Ledger or to your MetaMask or any other wallets. Okay, there's a little tutorial as you do get into the direct website here for the platform. You have full custody of your funds. Mark Dutch, much love, my man. Thank you very much for joining today. Hope you have a great end of the year. Careful with the fireworks, absolutely, guys. Much love to everybody. Thanks, Andy. I love from to the moon and back. Me too, Mariella. Much love. Happy New Year, everyone. Clint, Tepen, we'll be back tomorrow. I think we're gonna have a day off, guys. Let's have a day off tomorrow. Markets are closed anyway. Day one. Don't drink too much today. Have an absolutely awesome New Year, and cheers to that. Yeah, cheers to everybody, and whoever got into the short, wonderful. Whoever wants to take some profits, great. We'll be back with more in 2026. We are going to be the best, guys. Okay, we are going to try to be the best out there in this crypto trading industry. Thank you. Take care. Happy New Year, and see you in 2026.